That's
Yeah.
true. You
Yeah,
should have
yeah,
some
yeah.
moves. All right,
Got
make sure
some
you
rhythm.
do make sure you're sharing your thoughts and feelings and questions because we will be listening and responding to as many as we can. So we're going to start today with Rob B. Is this a truth, lie, or
Yes.
shenanigans, buddy?
This is a truth. This is a truth, and definitely shenanigans behind it for sure. Um, a Quebec resident named Pascal Ferrier was identified as the suspect that sent the letters that contained ricin to the White House and various locations in Texas. For those who aren't clear, ricin is a deadly extract from castor beans. And there's no known antidote for it.
Are we saying
Further
she tried to
point,
put out a hit on someone in the White House?
that is correct. I believe in a few years ago, there were some ricin envelopes that were sent out to the Clintons and
I remember
Obamas
that.
as well, and a bunch of other politicians. So this is really a repetition of the same type of ploy. So whoever caught it, and now it's been traced back to this individual. So they're telling you that this is a Canadian. This is a woman from
Blame
Quebec.
Canada.
Canada did it.
So she
Blame
has
Canada.
been she's had Canadian resident or Canadian citizenship since November 2015. Prior to that, she's from France. So she moved to Little France across the pond, and she is French. She's not Canadian. She did spend some time in the States. In 2019, she was in Texas and she was charged with unlawfully carrying a weapon, knowingly using a fake driver's license, and she spent 3 months in jail. So she is familiar with your system. Um, and while I was doing my homework, I found it very interesting that there have only been um, two or three other attempts from foreign nationals on American soil on American presidents. So Truman actually had two separate attempts, and there was Donald Trump with the Michael Steven Sanford incident in Vegas when this gentleman tried to grab a service revolver, and it was holstered, it was clipped, and then he was subsequently deported back to the UK. I mean, to me, this is just incredible, absolutely incredible that the
That the
man
Canadians are trying to put a hit out
generates
on our president. You guys, you
right.
guys are trying. You guys are trying to poison our president. You know this is appalling. This is awful. I just why would you do that? Why Robbie? Go
Mais
ahead, Lizzie.
pourquoi? Mais
Oh
pourquoi?
wait, did you ask a question, Robbie? What did you?
I said, mais pourquoi? Why?
Is that the question?
No, go ahead, Lizzie.
Yeah, I know I think Rupka just asked if I sent this young lady, um, if I gave her some money underneath the table to, send some rice into the White House. Absolutely not. Um,
Hmm.
Even though I am not a fan of the current president, the current POTUS, I am not a fan of the current White House administration. This is the last thing that we need. We
Strong
don't need our
comment.
president to be assassinated. We don't need our president to be poisoned. That is
Make
could
him a
lead
martyr.
to the fall make him a martyr, first of all, especially for his cultish, cult-like followers, which
Hmm.
is kind of what East was going to talk about in his topic. Hello, no. But also it leads to the fall of the US government because it shows a weakness
Hmm.
in terms of who we are as a people, our leaders, and our government. So, no, Canada, French Canadians, French people, stop it. Stop trying to kill our president. No, no, no. He's 70, he's senile, he will die of natural causes. Let it happen naturally. We don't want any of this outside interference. East, I
I
know he's
mean, we
your
have
boy.
enough.
I know he's your
Oh,
boy,
here we
East. So
go.
You almost
Not me
dodged
this
it.
time.
I thought we were cool.
Wasn't me this time though.
I mean, we got enough foreign nationals involved in the election. We don't need somebody trying to kill the president. I mean, come on. let's try to solve our problems on our own. Hopefully, come November 3rd, we vote this man out. He can go quietly in the night, and we can go on about a business and wake up from this 4-year nightmare.
So
That's
I'm gonna walk on eggshells here because I'm gonna speak like this. I don't necessarily agree with you guys because because I don't want this. I don't want this to be seen by like the Secret Service or something like that, and then come back saying I said
careful.
something. Right. So I'm gonna be very, very careful. So I'm gonna just say that I mildly disagree with both Lizzie and East, and that's all I'm gonna say.
And I am going to say with a lot of fervor that you are wrong.
Fair enough.
Do not need an assassination of our leader of our POTUS.
I
That is
didn't. I didn't say that. I want to be very clear. Those words never came out of my mouth. Just saying I disagree.
I'm going to say, Neo, in your implication, that you are wrong. Not what we need at all. I mean, our government already looks weak. Okay, we're already
right. That's what
the
I'm
last.
saying. I mean, right.
And
Exactly.
so the idea that a foreigner, I'm sorry, is she a French Canadian? Is she a Canadian? Is she a French woman?
You had it French. You were correct. You could stop right there. French.
Canadian.
Ooh,
I'm with.
Not even.
No,
5
Marjorie, I
years into
can't
the club.
explain in
She's not a real
detail
one.
because I don't want to get attacked by Secret Service. But I'm with Josie. Jose. I'm sorry, with Jose. She said she's. Is it a he or she? Jose?
That would be my wife, Jose.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Jose. Yeah. So, Jose, yes. Thank you. I'm going to say thank you.
Now, this is the last thing we need is a topple of the government.
I mean, that's true, though.
100%.
I mean, I can't truly, totally disagree with you. I mean, we don't need any martyrs. We don't need a government toppled. We don't need tents. We don't need it.
And if
But I
something
can
like this
dream. But I can dream.
dream a little dream, right? If something like this were to happen, the GOP, Trump's followers would point the finger at the Democrats. This would be our fault.
Yeah.
And if you guys think that there is uprising in the streets now, none of us would be safe. Because he's already implored them to be violent. And he's already kind of put the seed in their brains that, they have it out for me. They could harm me.
Yeah.
So do not be afraid. If something happens to me, do not be afraid to bear arms. He gave the young man in Wisconsin permission. Basically said you were justified in shooting those people in the street. So imagine if something were to happen to him, the type of justification he would give his supporters to turn those rifles and those AK-47s on the rest of us. No, this is not what we need. Canadian.
It might be what we want,
take care
but
of
not
your
what
own.
we need.
Take care of your own. Put her in jail where she belongs.
What? See? And that you had her in jail. You had her in jail. You should have kept her in Texas.
Why do we think they set her free? Could it be
I know, right?
The
Democrats.
A little bit of privilege?
No, it was a Democrat.
You know?
It's definitely a Democrat. All right, few comments online. Mike Winter said he would be so humiliated when he loses to Joe Biden in a landslide. Let's focus on those efforts. Marjorie asked me to explain, as I mentioned. Can't do that. She also said Canadians are too polite to try to poison someone.
French, see? French. Liz, do you remember?
The French aren't too polite.
Come on, do you not remember freedom fries? Americans know how to be angry at the French. Just remember that.
All right, Lizzie. Truth, lies, and shenanigans.